tuning in. This is OPTIBOTIMUS coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Iron Man 3 Workshop Accessory set. Now, this was originally released overseas exclusively as part of some kind of toy fair thing, and it's now being brought over to us here in the States via Sideshow Collectibles. As you can see, though, this is the box that it comes in. It's a lot of times we get the mailing boxes, and you get a another little package on the inside, though. But this is it. This is all you get, and that's not too bad looking, I suppose. They do have molded in here where it says Movie Masterpiece, and then they got the Hot Toy logo actually formed into this styrofoam. You can see it actually looks pretty nice. You got some nice detailing here along the side. It's got Stark Industries across the top, Iron Man 3. Now, and all of that is printed into it. And this is that very heavy-duty styrofoam. It is styrofoam, though. I mean, it is really a lot more durable than I kind of gave it credit for, but I mean, you can mark it up. And this is something that we're going to look forward to with their, or I guess we should say that we have to look forward to with their House Party Protocol Hall of Armor set, because this material is what it's made out of. But we'll touch on that when we get to there. But you can see Special Edition Workshop Accessory set, and it's actually the second set, which makes me think that the Hall of Armor is the first one. So you come around here to the back, though, and you can see you got the warnings and things of that nature, very typical of Hot Toys. But then you can see all the extra parts and things of that nature added on. And it says, "Suit up time! Add these accessories to your Hot Toys Iron Man collection." And then it just separates just like so. You actually do have, I'm going to set that down there, you actually do have a little bit of a window plastic piece right there. But this is it. In setting it out here, I mean, we're kind of just doing an unboxing sort of thing. You got this little bit, you got this little bit, and you got some plastic protective stuff getting this out of the way, and this is what you're left with. And this is not going to want to lay down flat because my table is kind of on an angle, but a lot of this stuff, though, is things that we've gotten previously. They're just coming to us in another sort of way that allows people to add some things to their Iron Man displays or pick things up that they didn't get previously. Really, that's about it. There's a couple new additions, but it really is just meant to just add extra things to, well, Tony Stark's workshop. But that's about it for the packaging and things like that. You can see that it all comes wrapped up in these nice little clamshells. You could see this just slides inside here for some of the storage. So let's get these all out here and let's take a look and see how cool they actually are. Alright guys, so here we have the Iron Man 3 Workshop Accessory set opened up and out of its packaging. Now, like I said, there are obviously some reused parts here, but there are also some that we haven't gotten before, and some that nicely enhance previous figures that we already. Starting off first with some of the things that we do have. Obviously, he does come with a pair of wire cutters here, as well as little needle nose pliers. These are the exact same that we got with that test suit Tony Stark from a while ago. Here those are. You can see that they are in the same exact color, but having a couple different pairs of these really isn't all that bad. I think it works pretty nicely. He also does come with another screwdriver. You also had that. It's the exact same. I even think that the handle is the same color. So I guess the only thing that they could have done different is this is the Phillips screwdriver. They could have given us a Vlad head one, but that's really not that big of a deal. Now, he does come with a couple new magazines here. This is the one that I have from the original set. I don't remember if there was two. This is the only one that I had displayed with my Hall of Armor, so I'm not 100% sure if I just lost the other one, if the other one's in storage, or whatever the case is. But now there are 3 different magazines, which works perfect because Tony Stark is, you know, a megalomaniac, so it makes sense to have a couple. He's going to want to showcase himself, but you can see Iron Man saves the day. And then again, really nice, you can open it up and there are all sorts of different pages inside here with actual words and bits of stories and images from the films and things of that nature. I mean, all really very well done. Honestly, though, I think we've gotten this one before. This one seems very familiar. I remember kind of seeing this clean energy thing. But you got that, and then you got this one here, and again, I don't know if this is is a reused one or what, but you got a lot of that same detail on the inside here. A lot of articles, a lot of pictures from the films. I am Iron Man, the suit and I are one. Some really cool things in here. I mean, it's simply incredible that they were able to recreate this so very nicely, I really think. Now, in addition to that, you also do get a set of blueprints here. You do have a set with the previous one, and honestly, I think they are the exact same. Actually, no. This is different. This isn't a reused one. Is this a reused one? This one might be. No, that one's not reused either. These are new. These are new. And then this is a image of the actual arc reactor. This is the prototype of the Mark 7, which is neat. Yeah, these are all. This is the Mark 42. This one doesn't say what this is, but these are all different. So that's actually kind of cool that you get 3 brand new blueprints with it. I do dig that. That's something I honestly thought that they were just reused, but well, anybody can be wrong. You also do get an extra one of these alternate reality sort of headsets. Now this one here, you can see it has the piece that forms around his head is the heads-up display device thing, but these are exactly the same. They do have the, well, actually no, they aren't exactly the same. Taking this off, this is just a little piece of plastic on there. Yeah, this is basically the exact same. Molding wise, it looks the exact same, except I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but the target is actually on here. You can see that the old one has a little target sensor right there on the view screen, whereas the new one doesn't. So I guess a little bit of a difference there, but really not that much. And honestly, this is the 3rd one that we've gotten of this. So the original one, or the other one that I don't have here right now, might actually have that on there too, or it might be clear like this one. So who knows, but you do get an extra one of these headsets. You also get this absolutely incredible looking battle damage version of a Mark 7 helmet. Now, this is what Pepper found after the Mandarin destroyed Tony's mansion. She picked this up. It was beeping on the inside. She put her head on it, and then she was able to communicate with Tony and actually find out that he was okay. But this, if I remember right, and I want to make sure that I get it right, but I do believe that this came with the red snapper. Now, not the one that we got through Sideshow Collectibles. This, I think, came with just the regular Asia exclusive version, but now we're getting it here over in the US, and it's really a gorgeous piece. I mean, you can see an absolute wicked crack going all the way down. I mean, it's just hollow on the inside, but it's a helmet. It was supposed to be hollow. I mean, it was just his head there, but that's really very cool. I mean, the damage on here is really substantial, and honestly, this looks good and might be well worth having in a display. Like if you want to have a helmet at the feet of the Mandarin as if he's defeating Iron Man or something like that, this would be a great helmet for that. I mean, all the paint detail, you can see the scratches, all the wash that's put throughout there. Just a simply stunning looking piece. And obviously, as you can tell, we also do get another table. Now, we did get one previously, and this is what we're having here. Now, if you remember my review of the test suit Tony Stark, it came with this, but for some reason, I only got 3 of the 4 wheels. I now have all 4 of them, so I've only ever been able to display this without the wheels, but you can have 2 tables, and obviously it's a little bit shorter, but they are exactly the same. Now, some people might think that this is a waste, but I actually don't mind it, because if you look at that scene in the beginning of Iron Man 3, Tony actually has 2 tables in his workshop area, and both of them have different things on them. So in a workshop kind of display, this really helps to bring that more authentic look to it. It's very, very simple. I should refer to this one. It's a very simple piece, but it just helps to kind of complete that look. It's a subtle addition, but I really do appreciate getting it again. I mean, it really does kind of allow me to spread out a lot of these extra accessories on different tables. Now, he does come with a couple additional things. Some are new, some are reuses, like I said, but some have really cool purposes. Now, we get two new hands. They're both right and left hands, and as you can see, they have the angled wrist. Now, we've been getting these for a long time. It's nothing new, but what these allow you to do is give you extra hands with that kind of bent wrist that allows you to use these for older figures that didn't come with them, which is actually really very nice. For example, bringing in my Mark IV, he didn't have the additional wrists that allowed for a more repulsor blast kind of hand. This is the best that you could kind of do. Now, he did come with wrist guards, and as you can see, they are a little bit flexible, but you couldn't ever really get it upward. I mean, that's really about it. What you now can do, take this off. Come on, well, here. Let me actually use a hand that I can get a good grip on. Come on, there we go. You pull that out just like so, and then you can put these in there just like that. You can see that this section here does flex a little bit, so you get a little bit more of an upward angle, and now you can actually display it looking like that. You can't pull it all the way in, and it's kind of stretching things a little bit, but it's a nice option that allows you to finally be able to display him with the repulsor blast. You do get both a right and left hand to be able to do that, and like I said, this piece right here is a little bit more flexible to allow you to do that. It's not a full upward motion, but it's much better than what it was, and I really do appreciate that. Again, it's a very subtle piece, but just enhances some extra figures that you might have. Now, talking about enhancing additional figures, another piece that you get also includes this. You got this really nice, it actually is a really cool look on here. It's just the Iron Man logo, well, a 3 logo that has a very nice metallic look, kind of rusty, and you got some what look like circuits and stuff. I mean, I actually really kind of dig this. It's nice, and it's meant to go along with this whole piece right here. Now, this piece right here does light up. You do get some batteries. They're in the little package here, but this is what you're basically getting, and they come around here and they just install right here on the bottom. You got the switch right there, and then you flip it and that lights up. You can actually remove this, and what you're left with is the arc reactor, which looks terrific. It's really very impressive. And you can actually take this, and actually there are little tab sections right here. You got 2 larger ones and then 2 small ones that line up perfectly on here, and then you can put this on top of it, and you can have that for a display piece. Honestly, I'm not going to ever display it like this because I'm not going to display it sitting like so. I mean, that's kind of silly to do it like that, in all honesty, but for me, I like it with this headpiece, which you just peg right back on there, and then you have that just like so. You can also take the mask off here, and you can push the battery, lighting that up, and now you have that kind of display, which if you want to have that looks kind of neat. I do dig that, but again, I'm not going to leave this on or anything of that nature. Now, this is an additional Mark VII head. It's fully functional. It's almost exactly like this. It can remove from the base itself. Now, removing this one, and I'm going to pull the whole neck joint off. This is, I don't want to say a bit of a controversy, but a lot of people were wondering about this. Basically, what Hot Toys has done is slightly change the actual eyes. As you can see here, the original one has much wider open eyes than the new version. A lot of people complain that this was just too wide of an eye look when they originally released this, so they actually changed it, and honestly, the red looks a little bit brighter on this than the old one did, so the paint may be slightly different as well, but really all they did was change the actual mask itself. The head is basically the same from what I can see, but you can see much more narrow eye slits, and you can see it a little bit better when you come around here to the back and you got that light shining through there. I mean, you can see the much more narrow, and it's more accurate of a look, so it really helps with some people's, I guess, OCD when it comes to making sure that it's 100% accurate, and it really does do that. It looks great. Now, also maybe it might be a slightly thinner mouth. In hand here, it looks like it might be a little bit more thin where the mouth is, but it's very, very minor, almost indistinguishable. And honestly, you can take this off, you can take this off, you can put this right on there. It works perfectly fine. You can do the same on this if you want to, and you can swap it out, and then you can come back right here, stick it on the body, and now you have a more accurate looking eyes for the Iron Man figure, and it looks good. It really does. It is a marked difference. Of everything on here, I really think that head, or more specifically that mask, and maybe this helmet will probably be the biggest, I guess, aftermarket sell pieces, if that made any sense whatsoever. What I'm basically saying is, on eBay, these are the ones that I think people are going to want to pick up the most. And then, like I said, this just pegs right back on there very nicely. Now, you also do get an extra, and I just inadvertently pulled this entire thing out. This whole piece right here can remove, and it's got a smaller little ball section. You got a wider one that once you put it inside there, just like so, it won't fit these. It's too big. That's more designed for like the Iron Patriot or even the War Machine Mark II, if you wanted to put those on there. But me, I could really care less. But I like the fact that they give you options with that. Honestly, though, I think it looks cool doing it like this, where you can have a head kind of displayed there, where, again, you know, if you have his whole workshop, you can have this sitting right there as if he's working on his helmet, and I think it looks really good. And again, the only thing that's really different from what I can tell mold wise would be just the eyes. Now, a couple other new but used parts. I want to say that these been reused. I know that he had some handheld repulsors as part of an exclusive, but here's some other ones, and honestly, I don't remember if this came with anything or if these are newish, but you do get two of them, as you can see. I mean, they're right and left-handed. Sure, I guess. I mean, you just flip them around. You got a little semi-translucent little piece here in the back that you can kind of see. It's just cloudy, but what you do, and I'm just pulling in the detached arm of Tony Stark here, and all you do with this is you just kind of fit it through there and cram it down there, and now you have him with the repulsor on his hand. I mean, it's cool. It's kind of weird. It depends on really how you plan on displaying your figure, but you do have that you can put on both his right and left hands if you want to, and I like it. I mean, it's a nice added touch. Again, I don't know what I would ever use them for, but it gives an added display option for you, which I think is nice. And then we come to a part that, well, a couple parts that are absolutely brand new. These bits right here go on his upper arm, up by his bicep. Now, in the movie, these almost were like the first parts that attached to him, and then from here, the arms actually deployed. And it's really cool that they actually decided to give us this. It has some nice detail as well on here. You can see some nice wires and things like that. You got different colors. I mean, you got the red and the blue. You got some nice gold bits right on there. It's very simple though, but something that actually comes in very handy. You got the screwdriver that he came with, because, well, for me, this little clasp here is really tough to get to unless you actually use this. So you just put it in there and wedge it, and then you can separate it just like so. And then it actually says an L on here, so all you do is you come around here, you put it on there, but when you get it wrapped around, all you do is then take this, the little clasp that you unclasp, kind of push that in to lock it, just like so, and then you can put that down like so, and keep that angled up a little bit. Again, it's a little bit hard to keep that attached. Just bend that. You can actually still flex that elbow, keep that attached there, and now you have that look for him. And again, it just is an added accessory to bring home some of that realism that he had in the film itself, and it looks good. And I mean, if this is the display that you're going for, where he's having all the various parts of the Mark 42 armor attached to him, this is something that you're gonna want to have. So I mean, when I said that the helmet here and probably the extra Mark 7 was gonna be the big selling points, this also might be. And it's a very simple accessory, but it, like I said, just brings home that look a little bit more. And there you have that. I mean, and again, it's a cool look for him. It is unique and really does kind of complete that look if you're going to, like I said, have the armor look like it's attaching to him. These are just pieces that really enhance that overall look. And if I remember correctly, it was one of the things that I actually complained about with this figure, that he didn't have that the arms, when they attached to him when he was testing it out, didn't have this piece. So it's something that I've wanted for a long time, and I really think that is one of the nicer pieces of this entire set. One thing that I will say is a little unfortunate though is when you're, and I'm going to use using the little screwdriver thing again, when you're pulling these out to detach them, as you can see, it kind of scrapes up the plastic here on here, and that's just from the actual clasp, just in general. I mean, you can, well, the focus isn't very good on here, but you can see that it just, unfortunately, because of the metal rubbing on here, you can see that it's wearing out the paint. So that's something to be wary of when you're using this particular add-on piece. But I still think it really nicely enhances the look of that Tony Stark figure. And the final piece, and possibly even the most amusing, is he does come with a battery. Now, in Iron Man 3, you can remember that the Mark 42 was severely underpowered, so Tony hooked it up to just a regular battery and he charged it. Now, this is a new accessory as well, but I do think that it's been revealed that we're going to be getting this at some point in time with a further battle damage version of this. Now, as you can see, you do just get the regular battery. You have stickers that you can put on here to make it look more authentic, but I'm not going to apply those right now. But you do have little terminals up here. You got a plus and a minus, and then where they are, there they are. You do get wires for them, which is, it's great. It really is kind of funny. They got little twist ties on here. I'm just going to take these little guys off here. And anybody who knows anything about batteries, red is always positive, so that just pegs right inside there like so. And then the black is the negative terminal, so I'll peg that in as well on that side. It actually does have a bit of a handle here. It doesn't move or anything like that. And then you have this piece right here that what you do is you come here, you lift this up just a little bit, then you take this, and all you really do is kind of wedge it up underneath his chest piece here. It kind of, you put it up in there, and then you just leave it there. You can have him walking around. Is this the? That's not the flexible hand. You can take your flexible hand. You can put that in there, and he can walk around with his battery. And it's a hilarious accessory. I mean, I really do dig that. It's I mean, a very unique look for him. And I mean, come on, it's Iron Man being powered by a regular car battery. I mean, how much more hilarious does that get? Now, when it comes down to it, the bottom line is whether or not you feel that you need this set. This is definitely not a cheap add-on. At $125, it really does push the limits about how much Hot Toys kind of charges for these things. It really comes down to personal preference. If you can justify the price, I really do think that this is a nice set to add on. It adds a lot of really cool, unique pieces that personally I didn't have, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have them. But at that price point, I do also understand that this really is a bit of an extravagance. It really isn't all that necessary to have. But that being said, I can easily see something like this going for $40 on eBay. These could probably go for $30. The battery, believe it or not, probably could go for 40 bucks. The new helmet probably could go for another 40. So it's really one of those things where it's hard to say that they're not charging what basically you could get it for. I mean, there definitely are some reused things on here, and like I said, for me, I love the fact that I can add another table, have some extra tools, and kind of spread out that whole workshop look. As it was right now, the one table I had was crammed, but that's also because I had a lot of extra things on there. I had like legs and helmets of the Mark II on there as well, so being able to get another table to spread it out is almost worth it. I mean, the table probably could go for 25, 30 bucks. So when you break it down in terms of the pieces, I really don't think that the price is too bad, but I will concede that for me, it's something that I appreciate having. A lot of collectors may not appreciate it, and they'll just think it's a waste of money. But it's something that I really think helps to bring out extra characters. And like I said, this can be used with the Mark 42. This can be used with the Mark 7. This is used with Tony. You got the hands down here that can be used for the Mark III or IV. So it enhances a lot of extra figures, and I don't really think that's all that bad. I like it, and when it comes down to value, I really think that this is actually a better value than that additional set that's coming out here shortly of the House Party Protocol Hall of Armor. That one, that's a whole nother story, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. But if this set does appeal to you, it is available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You go to Sideshow and you can pick this up and add it to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been OPTIBOTIMUS. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBotimus and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/OPTIBOTIMUS. Also, I'd encourage you to check out my new website at OPTIBOTIMUSreviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, see what I have coming up for future release, and also get your very own OPTIBOTIMUS t-shirt. And finally, guys, I'd also really appreciate it that if you like this review, don't forget to please like, comment, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.